We're back. This time we're taking a look at another one of the Blind Booster OP reinforcement packs. This one's the Kazon-Nistrim Culluh. This is another Predator class ship. It's another one that I'm borrowing from my friend's collection, so we're missing the Tier 1 captain as well as the tokens for it. But other than that, we'll get in and take a look at what we got. It's always a standard Predator class style. Same one that we've gotten several times in the past for the other Kazon ships. Here we have our Predator class maneuver card. It's honestly a pretty decently maneuverable ship for what it is. The tight turns in the reverse are all in red, which is to be expected. It is a larger ship, but got everything but those one tight turns in there, which not too many ships have unless they're really small and maneuverable. Here we have our name Nistrim Culluh. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but yeah. 4 attack, 1 agility, 5 hull, 3 shield, pretty respectable. 2 tech upgrades, a weapon upgrade, 2 crew upgrades for 26 points. Evasive target lock and battle stations. And our ability is when attacking a ship at range 3 during the roll attack dice step, gain +1 attack die for every friendly ship within range 1 of your ship to a maximum of 2. One of the other Kazon ships had something similar to this. Basically, you're getting bonuses for keeping them grouped up. Maybe it was a Dominion ship. Something had that ability or something very similar to it in the past. But very nice if you're running a swarm type fleet or you have multiple ships that you're going to keep close together anyway for other effects. Not the greatest effect, but anything that gives you extra attack dice is always nice. And starting with a 4 isn't too bad to start with. Then we have our generic Predator class. You're losing 1 shield on there. And the loadout's a little bit different. You're losing a tech upgrade, you're losing a crew upgrade, but you gain an additional weapon slot for 24 points. I'm going to butcher his name as much as I have the ship because it's the same. But it's Culluh. I should really watch Voyager again someday and learn these names again. But anyway, he's a captain skill of 4, 2 points. After you move, you may discard one of your crew upgrades to perform one of the actions listed on your action bar as a free action this round. Free actions are always cool. If you can get some cheap disposable crewmen to use with him, it's definitely nice to have the extra action economy. I wouldn't really want to sacrifice anybody who is too useful. At the same time, you can get crewmen who disable to do an effect, use them for their effect, and then discard them with him to get the bonus instead of re-enabling them later on. For elite talent, we have Ambition, 5 points. When attacking a ship that has more upgrades assigned to it, you may discard this card to either gain +2 attack dice during the roll attack dice step, or re-roll any number of your attack dice during the modify attack dice step. This upgrade can only be purchased for a Kazon captain on a Kazon ship. Anything that lets you roll extra dice is nice. Re-rolls are nice, kind of gives you the option in there. The downside is a 5-point discard, and you have to have a ship that has, I'm assuming it's more upgrades than you. It doesn't actually specify, it just says a ship that has more upgrades assigned to it. So I'm assuming than the ship that it's on. Very poor wording on their part, but 5-point discard for a whole 2 attack dice is kind of rough. The rerolls possibly, but I think there's better options out there. If you're playing Faction Pure, there might not be better options for the Kazon, so it might be useful in that respect. But other than that, I would probably avoid this one. For crew upgrades, we have Roulette, 3 points. When attacking or defending, you may discard this card to re-roll any number of your dice. Lots of ways to re-roll in this pack, which is kind of nice. 3-point discard for re-rolls, it's alright. You're basically getting that target lock in there for free for 3 points, so I can see where that one would have its usefulness. Next we have Photonic Charges, 4 points, attack of 4, range 1, which really hurts it. It's a disable to perform this attack, so it is reusable. Place an auxiliary power token beside the target ship if there's at least 1 uncancelled hit or crit, and it costs +4 points if used on a non-Predator class ship. 4 dice with the possibility of an auxiliary power token. It's kind of nice. Your main attack is already a 4 on this ship though. If you're at range 1, you get a +1 for your primary weapon. So you're looking at 5 on your primary versus a 4 on this. Having to be at range 1 is really what cripples this card. If it could be fired from the rear arc, maybe, but for that trade-off of one extra die for the chance of doing a auxiliary power token, it's kind of very situational, really depending on what's going on at the time. For our tech upgrade, we have Stolen Technology. 3 points. As an action, discard this card to perform the action listed on a non-Borg tech upgrade deployed to an opposing ship within range 1 to 3 of your ship. This upgrade may only be purchased per a Kazon ship. Very interesting ability. I love being able to use other people's stuff against them. The only complaint I would have to say is that if you're stealing it and you get to use it, it should make them discard it. That would definitely make it worth it. It would have to bump up the cost probably to at least a 5 to do that, but as it stands, it's still somewhat useful. Definitely in the sealed environment where these are coming from, where you're using them as a blind booster alone. This is a pretty good upgrade since almost every single one of the ships in the reinforcement brick comes with at least one tech upgrade that you can steal. Other than that, it would depend on if your opponents are even running tech. For our base, for the named version of the ship, we got that 180-degree front arc, which is really nice on these, especially since they have a decent amount of maneuverability, even though most of their tight turns are red. You also have that 90-degree rear arc, which is nice. Our generic Predator class with the same 180-degree front, 90-degree rear. The ship itself is the one that we've been referring to since the original came out as the Bad Year Blimp. It's a interesting ship. As with all the other ones in the brick here, this one's got a overhaul. It's in that coppery plastic. Has a little bit of detail painted on it, but nothing spectacular. Still an improvement, I think, over the original in some ways. And there you have the original by side to compare. It's a little too shiny for the Kazon, though. Same with the originals. I'd like to darken them up and make them look quite a bit more dirty and worn. The new models definitely seem to show the detail a little bit more. They've taken a little more effort in them, and aren't quite so bad to use stock, but definitely could use a repaint just like any of the older ones. Overall, we have a pretty good ship here. Much needed more additions to the Kazon fleet if you're playing them as a faction. Otherwise, pretty mediocre upgrades around if you're not interested in Kazon in general. If you were to open this as your blind for the OP event, there are definitely worse that you could have. While it's not the greatest, it definitely can hold its own for the points cost, and I think you can make a decent ship out of here between its fire arcs and its decent attack value, as well as the synergy with some of the upgrades for the rerolls and extra dice. Anyway, that's it for this one, and we'll see you in the next video.